Good evening, everyone. Welcome into this special broadcast tonight, talking about removing limiting beliefs. I'll talk a little bit about my journey in removing limiting beliefs. Let's talk about your journey and where you are. There's lots of things out there right now. There's lots of information out there. There's lots of challenges out there, all designed to move you forward. But what I've found is no matter how much new information comes in, no matter how much you get, if we don't truly identify, perfect timing, Liberty is on the set. If we don't identify what's holding us back, we can struggle. What you don't know can hold you back. What you're not aware of can hold you back. I had some limiting beliefs that kind of entrenched themselves below the surface. Like I knew they were there, but they lingered. And no matter what I did, no matter what I tried, they would come up again and they would hold me back. Many years held me back. And do you ever feel like, you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back? You move forward and then you kind of like, you feel like you're moving back, always trying to get ahead. So first of all, hello. I just want to say hello to you tonight and honor you for clicking on here. There's many things out there. There's many options. There's many ways for you to get information. And what I want to share with you, it's not about, information is everywhere. Information is everywhere. Implementation is rare. We're playing with this concept. We're going to be doing a lot of exciting things around this because I found that to really create change, to really bring somebody out of their stuckness, you really need to get in there. You really need to work with them. You really need to lock arms with them and kind of pull them with you in some respects. And that's what we're working on. But let's talk about this tonight. Let's first of all, let me know where you're listening in from. Say hello, what area, where are you physically? Check in with yourself tonight. That's really an important thing to do, is to check in with yourself. Maybe take a deep breath. Pause, because I'm going to ask you to move tonight. I'm going to ask you to move a little bit tonight. And you'll see what I mean. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road and maybe you're listening. But most of you are listening from a stationary place. So I want to get you to move tonight. I want to get you, say it with me, I'm going to move tonight. I'm going to move. Hello, Tony. Welcome. It's an honor to have you here tonight. Let's talk about limiting beliefs, because this is, I've been wanting to do this live feed. I'm moving my elbows. I'm just shaking the table. By the way, it was a big decision to not go with a hat tonight. But listen, I have my hat close by. I got my electrolytes. I'm ready. Maybe you need some water. It's hot here in the Northeast. Maybe you need to get yourself some water. Maybe you need to stand up. Maybe you need some electrolytes, right? You got to fuel the body to fuel the mind. Let me know where you're listening from. Got Tony on YouTube. Thank you, Tony. I'm going to share. See if I can share that. Tony's listening in from YouTube. And as we check in with you right now tonight, I want you to get something, first of all. That's number one. No matter how long you stay, I want you to get something. And I'm going to dive into the content. I'm going to share with you 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. I have the PDF that I created. I've shared it with some people. And I had some folks saying that it really resonated with them. It was like their own personal journey that it spoke to them. So I want to give you the opportunity to talk about that as well. And here's what I want to say as we get into this. There's so much information out there, so much. But here's what I want to share. If we don't get to the core root, and the root is the limiting belief. Now, some of you know what your limiting beliefs are. And I'm going to share with you just some of the things I wrote down here, if you will, some of the things you might say to yourself. And by the way, if you're so bold and you're so vulnerable and you want to really put it out there, what are you telling yourself? What is the thing that comes up? And by the way, I can kind of talk fast because I get excited. But if you want to know, what's the outcome? What like, what's the outcome by listening to this guy? What's the outcome? And the outcome is a breakthrough. That's the one outcome, because what I've realized in working with people, there's a sticking point. There's a and this is the movement part. There's a lean away point. There's a I'm not sure point. There's an overthinking point, which causes you to freeze and then lean back. Okay? And so when we can identify what that sticking point is, or that limiting belief, and we can bring it to the light, it starts to lose its power over you. But we first can talk about the ones that are limiting. Like, you may say to yourself, I'm never going to meet the right person. I've been in several relationships. I'm never going to meet the right person. How many people have said that? Be honest. If you're so bold, be honest, and let me know where you're listening in from if you want to take that chance and do that. Yeah, it's hot. Woo! It's hot tonight, so I'm just I wanted to put a nice shirt on, but also, whatever. It's like a tank top. Maybe I'll take this off. So anyway, let's get back into it. Have you said that to yourself? Have you said, I'm never going to lose the weight? I'm never going to lose the weight. I can't do it. I just can't. Every time I get into something, I can't do it, right? Now, I'm sharing with you a couple things that you might say, but is there a breakthrough? Is there a breakthrough, right? We talked about the lean out. Is there ability to lean in and create the breakthrough? And I'm here to tell you there is. There is, okay? If you don't know it right now, that's okay. This is a journey. I took the long road. I'll be the first to tell you I took the long road, and I'm not ashamed of that, because there's people out there getting rich in a year, getting rich in 5 years, 4 years, making millions of dollars. It's all good, right? Because your journey is yours. And that's the voice. Well, that person's ahead. Understand, any successful person has paid their dues quicker than you have, and there's reasons for that. So I can't start over. I just can't. I can't do it. I got this. I'm not happy, but I can't start over. I can't make that decision. I can't make that decision because of my job. Can't make it. I can't do it because of my kids. I can't do it because of my in-laws, my outlaws, my ex-laws. I can't do it. I can't do it. And that's kind of the on the surface stuff that we might tell ourselves, right? Is that I can't do it. Let's see. What was my story? What was my story? My family, my background. Yeah, I grew up in a tough situation. I had a rough upbringing. Can't do it. I understand those people can thrive. They can do it because they had a good family life. They had more resources. They're taller. They're better looking. They're good at basketball. They got more money, right? So, but I can't do that. Like, I can't because of this. That's the story part. But then there's an underlying theme. There's an underlying theme. And the underlying theme is what's below the surface. There's a limiting belief below the surface for all of us at some level. At some level, even right now as I'm doing this, I have limiting beliefs too. Okay? But what happens is, as we go and as we grow, we learn strategies to overcome. But we must be willing to do the work to identify what the limiting beliefs are. What's holding us back? For me, I had a belief that I just didn't measure up. I'm not going to get into the whole story right now, but I would feel emotionally like I would take myself down, like into the ditch. Talking about movement, I would go down into the ditch, and I would hang out there, and the belief would come in, and it would be like, here's me and the belief, and then boom. And then I've identified myself with the belief. And if you're just on here, I'm going to share with you the 9 questions. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it here right now. Because as I'm going through this, I want you to grab this. Okay, there's 9 questions that I have here, excuse me, to help you identify and remove limiting beliefs. Now, I'll share with you some of these questions in a moment. Let me just grab some. Get yourself some water. maybe some electrolytes, if you will. Tony, I took the long road too. How many people were on the long road? How many people, like, they didn't get the memo that there was like an expressway? You didn't get the memo like, hey, there's an expressway right here, but you said, oh, you know what, let me go down this, let me take the shortcut, right? And the shortcut ends up being the long road, and you find yourself where you are. So where are you right now? Like, if you just have a moment, I can pause here and just say, where are you? Where are you physically? And then check in with yourself. Where are you mentally? Where are you emotionally? Where do you find yourself? Because that might be a really good checkpoint, if you will, to check in with you. How many times do you check in with yourself? Do you check in with yourself? And not, what I found is that a lot of people don't check in with those. They beat themselves up with the story over and over again. I did that. I mean, you're not good enough. You can't do it. You missed the memo. Yeah, you missed the sign. Hey, over here. Here's the expressway. But, you know, there's a way. There's a way to overcome, and there's a way for you to overcome. There's a way for you to break through. There is a way. Do you agree with that? Like, do you agree? Is there a way for you to break through? So for me, I would say I scratched, I clawed, I kind of, you know, I fought, I resisted, I took that fight, you know. I wanted to fight my way out of it. I wanted to knock down the limiting beliefs. I wanted to get in front of the self-development material and get it all and suck it all up and take that challenge and do this and do that. And at the end of the day, my limiting beliefs were still there. And, you know, I'm going to bring this in. Jim Rohn said that if you take all the money in the world, took all the money in the world, right? Imagine you take every single dollar in the world and you divided it up amongst everyone. So now everyone has the equal sum. It will end up in the same hands. So no matter how much you spread it out equally, the amount of money will find its way back into the same hands in similar amounts. Why am I sharing that when we're talking about beliefs? Because your beliefs are consistently creating your world. And for some of you, it's creating the same experience over and over again. And you're frustrated and you're upset and you feel stuck and you don't know why. That's why this is so very important to grab what is holding you back. Because if you can remove what's holding you back, now here's your movement. Are you ready? You can lean in. You can stand up and lean in to the direction that you most want to go. And even if you don't fully know, when you take a risk and you take a step, and for some of you, that risk is a step. That step seems gigantic. But here's my question. What's the smallest step you can take that would yield you the greatest positive result? The smallest step, not the biggest step, the smallest step you can take that would yield you the greatest positive results. See, many of us, here's what we do. We overwhelm ourselves with everything that we think we want to do, or we overwhelm ourselves with the top of the mountain. You're thinking about climbing to Mount Everest, you haven't even taken a step. You haven't even tied your shoes yet. And if you study Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary didn't think about climbing Mount Everest. He thought about becoming a mountaineer. He thought about exploring. He sharpened his skills. He leaned into the direction. I ran 2 ultra marathons. I never thought I'd run an ultra marathon. What did I do? I leaned in. I said, let me see if I can run 2 miles. Let me see if I can run 3 miles. Let me see if I can run 5 miles. Let me see if I can do a half marathon. Let me see if I can do a marathon. Let me see if I can do an ultra marathon. And then I woke up one day and I was an ultra marathoner. What can you do to lean into the direction that you most want to go? Well, here's what I want to invite you to do. Let me share with you these questions. I'm going to share with you. Some of it's sequential. You know, it's a question. It's a sequence to really get you to do the work. Because if you don't know, there's some beliefs that are lingering behind the system. It takes work. It takes work. It takes work. It takes, like, if you go to the gym and you're getting on your fitness program, well, this is like the psychology of it. This is how you create a breakthrough. The breakthrough takes work. The breakthrough takes work. The breakthrough takes some introspection. The breakthrough takes some leaning in. It takes some movement, like being willing to stand up and lean in, even to do the physical movement. Even to do the physical movement, because that physical movement sends a signal to the brain. All of a sudden, things start firing up. Engine starts firing. Body starts moving. Blood starts circulating. Oxygenation in the blood. Boom. Brain starts operating at a higher level. Motions start to rise. You see that? Boom. Motional elevation. Boom. Motional elevation. Many of us are unaware of elevating our emotions. We get up and we lump it. We slide through. We coast through. I gotta get through this day. That's how we operate. You don't have to operate that way anymore. You're going to feel the full spectrum of life. You're going to feel emotions at a deep level. I give you permission to feel at a deep level. You don't have to pump yourself up and hide yourself from your emotions. What you do is you feel it because you're strong enough to feel it. Your DNA, your nervous system, wired to feel at a deep level. You can handle it. You might shake, you might scream, you might cry, it might just be this cleanse, but at the end, it's power. It's beauty, and it just happened to me today. It happened to me today. I had a depressed sequence. I wasn't feeling good. I had a depressed sequence. So why am I on here today? Because I embrace it. I shake. I slip into unconsciousness sometimes. I say stupid shit to myself sometimes. But then I stick with it. I observe it. And then I find this beauty unfolds. This empowerment unfolds because it's the full spectrum of life. But if we resist it and we fight it and we say this shouldn't be this way, I shouldn't feel this way, I should be here, I should be there, we dig ourselves into a hole. Tony, thank you. I hear you saying that to me all the time. When I feel overwhelmed, I hear you saying, well, it's one small step you can take. One small step. You grab that step, you own it. There's no difference. We do a thing. What's important? The step that crosses the finish line or the first step that gets you going? Which one's more important? Which step is more important? But what we do is we devalue that first step. We devalue it because we're so overwhelmed by the journey. We're looking 9,000 miles ahead. We haven't even gone, oh my God, there's a step right here I can take. I've done this a very long time. Overthinking, burying myself in overthinking. I've done it. Felt depressed. I've done it. But there's power when you can embrace it fully because you're wired for it. You're already given it. You're wired to handle it. That's a gift. You have a gift to feel, not to fight. I mean, sometimes we need to fight, but it's the ability to feel at a deep level. Let me share some of these questions with you right now, and I'm going to give you you can download this. You can grab these 9 questions, and the reason why I wanted to do this again is because I had somebody go through them, and they said this really spoke to me. And I want to serve you. Like I want you in my camp. And I'll tell you, we don't have it figured out, but we're going to be doing some things because I'm compelled to do it. And we want you to move forward. Like here's what I realize: if you don't progress, nothing's going to change. If you don't get into a state of progression, nothing's going to change. And what we want to create is a state. Now let me be clear. Progression, but also embracing the moment. See, there's no perfect steps. Everything is a dynamic process. It's all dynamic. The earth is spinning. Your hair is growing. Your skin is rubbing off and replenishing. Your cells are moving. They're dancing. There's nothing that is static. Everything is dancing. So the steps that we learn are valuable, but we have to embrace the dynamic nature of everything. That what you saw today, you might go back to the person you saw today, you go tomorrow, they're different. They might respond different. They may be in a bad mood. They were in a good mood yesterday. Embrace it all. Because and here's the thing, like when we can embrace the down moments, it's the contrast that creates the beautiful moments. Without that, where would we be? If you just showed up here on this planet, you just woke up here, no pain from the mother that gave birth to you, and then you die and there's no pain in death, then how do we create beauty? How do we create exaltation? How do we create sadness? How do we create the full range of emotions? And I mean, again, I wasn't there on some of the early decisions, but my belief is that it's all there for a reason, right? Just like it says in the good book. So here we go. Question your limiting beliefs. Why do you believe them? But we really need to identify them first. So, the first question is to get you aware of what belief has held you back. What belief has held you back? What belief is holding you back now? It goes back to the story. I can't do it because of this. I can't do it, fill in the blank. All right? Again, think about leaning in. Right now you're leaning in. If you're listening to this, here's what you're doing. You're leaning in. You didn't jump yet. But you're leaning in. And so what belief has held you back? Why do you believe it? And I'm not going to go anywhere beyond this other question here, but what have you missed out on in life because of this limiting belief? That's a very serious question, but what I want to share with you, no matter where you are, no matter what you've gone through, no matter where you come from, no matter what you've gone through, you can create something brand new. It's literally one decision away from creating something brand new. I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you. You know who it is. You can grab these 9 questions, take the time, start to do the work. What I've found is that, in myself and others, is that we tend to sit and suffer because we have some ideal that's holding us back. They take the baby elephant when they train him for the circus. They stick a stake in the ground and they tie the chain around the elephant's foot as a baby. And the elephant can't pull free. Now the elephant gets bigger, and how much does an elephant weigh? When the elephant's a full-grown adult, all they have to do is tie a rope around the foot, stick a little tent stake in the ground, and that little bit of tension keeps that elephant from breaking free and running away. Because the elephant was conditioned at an early age that tension equals chains, bondage. One fell swoop, that elephant can pull free and be running. You have the ability to do much more than you believed you can at this point. And I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to do anything radical. Remember, what I told you to do is to lean in. Thank you, T. So we already have the gift to get through it. Yeah, let me show this because this is true. We all have the gift to get through it. And here's the thing. I'm not telling you stuff you don't know. Let's be real. I'm just reminding you of things that you already know. But here's what I've found in myself. I go back to the things I know. I go back again, and then I go back again, and then I go back again, because everything's dynamic. Everything's changing. One day you're over here. One day your thoughts over here. One day, oh my God, I couldn't get anything done today. Tomorrow I got this one thing done today. I feel fantastic. So I want you to get these questions. I'm going to post it in here, and let me make sure I put that in right. I want you to get the 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. For those of you that take a step, you lean in, you get the questions. We're going to be building more things out. We're planning a 2-week destination transformational vacation. It looks like my thing didn't post. I'll try it again. Where you're going to have the opportunity next February to get away and restart, refresh, identify what your true purpose is, no matter what stage of life you're in. If you're like me, I have zero regret in terms of what I spent my time doing, because it all is a part of the journey. But what I want to say is that there was a reinvention that took time, because I was programmed a certain way. I had limiting beliefs. I was trudging along with limiting beliefs, like carrying a weight, like carrying extra weight up to Mount Everest, weight that I don't need, carrying a rock that does no purpose. And that's kind of what my journey was like. But I was able to do it to a point, and now, like, in the past, probably like in the past 6-7 years, I've gotten free from that. And when I talk to people, what do you do? They say, what do you do for people? You help me get free. You help me break through. So if you're not wondering, like you're wondering, what do I do? I mean, I want to help you break through. I want to help you get past that sticking point, because once you get past that sticking point and you get in motion, things are going to start to open up for you. But one of the steps to do that is to really identify what's holding you back. What's holding you back? It's just as important to not listen to others' limiting beliefs when they say you can't do things. How many people have had somebody say you can't do it, right? So I'm going to bring this to a close tonight. I want to honor you for jumping in here. And again, if you haven't gotten up, stand up and lean in. Lean in. And maybe even take a step And the step might be to grab the 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. It can make a difference. It can help you now, but you must take a step. So my name's Austin. I'm your breakthrough strategist. I want to help you break through. Believe me, it took a long time. I'm coming up with what do I do? And the thing that keeps coming up is I help people break through. And I want to help you break through. But the only way to do that is to start the process. So the process for you tonight, if you're hearing this, might be to grab these 9 questions. So I want to honor every single person that's been on here. Lean in, take action in your own best interest. Know that I love you, even if I don't know you. How can you love me? Because I know the part of me that had to awaken, the part of me that was asleep, the part of me that didn't believe myself, the part of me that maybe didn't love myself fully. And that's why I want to say I love you as a fellow human, as a fellow traveler on the journey. You're on this journey. We're on this journey together. None of us have it figured out. And that's why it's important that we learn, we grow, and we move forward together. So I'm going to leave you with this. Get free, stay present, and move forward. Have a great night, everyone. Blessings.